Fellow Americans, the simple truth is that according to virtually every poll, Donald Trump is the least popular president after 1 year in office of any president in modern American history. And the reason for that is pretty clear. The American people do not want a president who is compulsively dishonest, who is a bully, who actively represents the interest of the billionaire class, who is anti-science, and who is trying to divide us up based on the color of our skin, our nation, of origin, our religion, our gender, or our sexual orientation. That is not what the American people want. And that reality is the bad news that we have got to deal with. Many of you will recall that during his campaign, Donald Trump told the American people how he was going to provide health insurance for everybody with, quote unquote, much lower deductibles, end quote. That is what he promised working families all across this country during his campaign. But as president, he did exactly the opposite. Last year, he supported legislation that would have thrown up to 32 million people off of the health care they had, while at the same time substantially raising premiums for older Americans. The reality is that although we were able to beat back Trump's effort to repeal the Affordable Care Act, 3 million fewer Americans have health insurance today than before Trump took office. And that number will be going even higher in the coming months. I know I heard tonight many of my Republican colleagues standing up and applauding how great it is that millions of Americans are going to lose their health insurance. Not quite something that I understand. During the campaign, Donald Trump told us, quote, "The rich will not be gaining at all," end of quote, under his tax reform plan. The rich will not be gaining at all. Well, that was quite a whopper. As president, the tax reform legislation Trump signed into law a few weeks ago provides 83% of the benefits to the top 1%, drives up the deficit by $1.7 trillion, and raises taxes on 92 million middle-class families by the end of the decade. How can a president not talk about the reality that Russia, through cyber warfare, interfered in our election in 2016, is interfering in democratic elections all over the world, and according to his own CIA director, will likely interfere in the 2018 midterm elections that we will be holding? How do you not talk about that unless perhaps you have a very special relationship with Mr. Putin?